Okay. Well, I'm going to give everybody just a little disclaimer for this episode. Today is our brother Mark Gustafson's birthday, and he was shot and killed a few years ago. So today's going to be an episode telling stories, talking about some of the shenanigans that we were all involved in with Mark, mostly because of Mark. But there are going to be some topics that may be unsettling. There could be, I mean, we're going to try to keep it light. We're going to have laughs. Most of the stories are funny, but it is going to be an up and down episode. We got, you know, laughs, probably some anger. Somebody may cry. I don't know. Nobody knows. We may not cry. Mark would have called us a bitch if we did, and then he would have gone and cried in the back, but it's fine. So that's your forewarning for this episode. And hopefully you listen. If not, hopefully you tune back in for the next one. But we'll go ahead and jump into it. So we'll do our normal opening shots, and I'll have my whiskey chased with more whiskey like an American. Mm. Jameson Light.
I'll do the high speed shot later on.
Yeah, because that's terrible. We're all going to bitch about it.
It's terrible. We're all going to bitch about it, and I want it cold. It's got to be cold.
Yeah.
And I don't like it in a shaker because that waters it down and makes it even worse.
I still don't understand what on this massive,
Man,
mostly pretty green earth, Mark, where Mark thought that was good whiskey.
what possessed him?
Here's what gets me. Stopped in at the liquor store to buy it and look at the people behind the counter. I'm like, hey, yeah. So need a, oh, oh my, I, and I mean,
You want to order it again?
no, literally, that's what I was doing. I'm like, finally, I just go, I hate this liquor so much. It's painful for me to even say that I want it.
Right?
And both of them are like, well, it's really good. And I'm like,
Where'd you go?
Cash Road.
Cash Road. Okay. I was going to say, if you went to Fluffy's, I know exactly who was behind there because that's what I saw earlier. And they would not have said that. Granted, their opinion on some liquors doesn't matter because one of them, who I won't say their name, Emma, like fucking Rumplements, like that's her drink of choice is fucking Rumplements. It's like, I don't know why you
It's
want,
toothpaste.
I don't know why you want a fucking Christmas bukkake in your mouth when you're fucking drinking booze, but
Okay.
I mean, that's what that shit is, man.
Wow. Okay.
That's what it is. But I mean, I guess it's everybody's got their own tastes. Some people are just have worse taste than others.
Well, I have figured out though with the honey that you get the fifth, put it in the fridge, let it get cold, drink about half the bottle, then you let it sit for like 2 months. Just let it sit in the fridge. Don't touch it again. Just let it sit in the fridge. Then it's actually not so bad. For whatever reason, just let it sit open like that for a while has a tendency of making it better.
I mean,
For whatever fucking reason.
I could see drinking half the bottle and then putting like an entire bottle of honey in it and then shaking the shit out of it and letting it fucking go on there
To help it out.
just to get rid of the flavor. So you have actual honey flavor, not whatever
Then that's more
Jack
like
Daniels
mead.
puts in it.
That's more like mead.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but
I'm okay with that.
his was the Evan Williams,
Yeah.
the American honey.
Yeah. Even worse. I mean, I guess we did.
A little bumblebee on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bumblebee on all of them. It's fucking, I don't understand it. Granted, he didn't make a lot of good decisions.
Truth.
I can tell you, I don't know how many stories I could tell you about that motherfucker. Goddamn, whenever he worked for me at my shop.
That phone call in the middle of the fucking night really sucked.
So we had a friend of ours, actually, I think you know him, Justin, long beard bass player. He's got fucked up his hand whenever he was in the Marines.
Mm,
Plays at the railhead a lot.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I'd have to like
Uh,
actually see him.
so whenever I had my shop over on Lee, you know, I'd been working on Justin's cars for a year or so. His car. He calls me one day. He goes, "Hey man, I need shocks and struts on the front end of my car." I'm like, all right, man, no problem. Like, just let me know once you got the money together. We'll get it done. I'll give you a good deal like I always do. He's like, well, I got it. I just need to get it done. He's like, how much? I tell him the price. So we had been pretty dead all day at the shop. Justin brings his car, drops it off. I run him back to his house, pays me. I go pick up the parts and stuff like that. Me and Mark are sitting in the shop. We're like, man, we're fucking dead. Like, it's been dead all goddamn day. The projects that we had, we're fucking done with. I was like, look, tell you what, let's finish out the day because it was already pretty late in the afternoon. It was like 3:30 or 4, so we weren't going to be open but for another hour or two anyways. It's like, we'll ride out the day. We'll come in early in the morning. We'll knock Justin's car out. Like, we'll get here like 4:30 in the morning. We'll knock Justin's car out, and then we'll just close tomorrow, and we'll just go day drinking. Fuck it. Who cares? Like, we've had a pretty productive week.
Drinking.
Right? You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
You know, that used to be an old school style jazz, like Rat Pack jazz type song. Day drinking. Need to make a jazz day drinking song.
But so he's like, all right, man. Yeah, that sounds good. And this was it's like a Tuesday or something like that. So we closed. Everybody, he goes home, he changes and shit like that. This was middle of summer. It was hot as fuck. We're both on the bikes. And then he gets home. He was at his apartments over there at Motif Manor. And he texts me not 20 minutes after we leave the shop. He goes, hey, man, you want to go to Zoo and get a beer? I was like, yeah. Who doesn't? Like, fucking 32-ounce mug for $3. I'm in. Let's go. So we're sitting there drinking. Had a couple of mugs. I was like, we're not going to stay all goddamn night because we're going to, we're going to be at the shop at 4:30 in the morning so we can get this done so we can drink all day tomorrow. He's like, oh man, couple beers, couple shots, and we're out of here. He's like, all right, sounds like a plan.
See, what happened was
2:00 in the morning rolls around. Like, all right, see you in a couple hours, buddy. He's like, oh yeah, man, I'm just gonna go home and play some video games and I'm gonna go to sleep. All right, sounds good. I'm gonna take a nap. Fuck you. Like, I don't care. I can run off 2 hours of sleep. It's fine. I wake up, hop on the bike, I get to the shop. I get to the shop about 4:30, 4:45. I wait about 20 minutes. Like, I fucking knew this motherfucker wasn't gonna wake up or show up. I called him probably 20 fucking times. Nothing. It's like, all right then. So I really hadn't. I fixed Justin's car. Like, I've done one of those a million fucking times. It doesn't take long. I think I was done in about an hour. I'm just sitting in the shop, dicking around. I swept up, cleaned some shit up.
now, at one point he did call me and asked me to go over to make sure the guy was alive.
Yeah, because he didn't say he got home. But so I'm sitting there. I'd cleaned up. I was sitting at my desk in the office. I just got my feet kicked up. Just dicking around on my phone. 7:30, 8:00-ish rolls around. Fucking comes in like he's still putting shit on, like he just got off the bike and he's still trying to put shit on. He's like, man, I'm sorry, I fucking fell asleep playing blah 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 blah. I was like, yeah, it's no worries, man. So he's fucking in a rush getting back there. So I just kind of just follow him out to the shop and I sit down on my little rolly stool and I'm just watching him run around with fucking like a chicken with his head cut off. He's fucking looking for his tools, looking for shit. Even though all of his tools are in my fucking toolbox, like, I don't know what you're looking for them for. They're all over there. It's fine. But so he starts getting the car jacked up and he gets the wheel all the way off. I was like, what are you doing, brother? And he's like, man, we got to get this done. I thought we were going to go day drinking. I was like, yeah. Yeah, we did need to get it done anyway. And I just kind of let him go on about his business. He sits down. He finally figured out all his tools and shit. He goes to take the brake caliper off so he could start moving shit out of the way. It's like, where are the parts for it? And he's kind of looking. And he looks right behind him. I just left a pile right there. He goes, right there. I'm like, we're awful dirty for new parts, aren't they? He's like, those are old parts. I'm like, I want you to look right in front of your fucking face. The brand new fucking strut tower sitting in there. And he goes, what happened? So I got here at 4:30 in the fucking morning and I already did the fucking thing. Remember that thing where we said we were going to be here at 4:30 in the morning so we could fix it and close and go day drinking?
Magic.
And he was like, yeah, like I did that. So it's done. Put the fucking wheel back on it, dickhead. Go drive it. and then clean the shit up since you weren't here at 4:30 in the fucking morning. This is what you get to do. You're shop bitch for the next hour and just all fucking clean. So, fucking goofy shit.
Magic.
Yeah. Shop stories were, those were fun. He was trying to change the alternator on a Nissan. What the fuck was it? That stupid SUV thing that Nissan makes.
Oh, that box thing that the hamster tried.
No, not that one. The one that looks kind of like the Edge.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's not the Versa. Not Santa Fe. That's Hyundai.
Quest?
No, similar to it. There's one that used to be parked right across the street of the studio.
Yeah, I don't. Anyway,
I don't know. So they're kind of a pain in the dick to do. They are a pain in the ass. You got to move some shit around, and there's just shit in the way because, Nissan. I swear to God, he worked on this car for a week. And it didn't matter because the dude because we shared the shop with a car lot. So the guy that ran the car lot part of it was just driving other cars home, so he didn't really care. But finally, it got to the point where Mark used to work for Nissan. He used to be a tech at Nissan. So it finally got to the point where I was just like he'd be under there, just so you could just hear him cussing and moaning and fucking just bitching and yeah, I know, I forgot to turn you back up. Yeah, he's just bitching and moaning, but
it's a good thing we're not live. Somebody would have started running.
No shit. Oh fuck, it's the cops. But so I just hand him my specialty tools. Like I have stuff specifically for jobs like that. Like, here, take this. Or like my electric fucking ratchet wrench. You just get up there and then you don't have to try to turn it one fucking click at a time. And you just pull the trigger and it fucking does it for you. I'd hand it to him. He'd be like, oh, thanks, man. That'll be a lot easier. And then not 5 minutes later, I still hear him under there bitching and moaning, and the ratchet's just sitting next to him. It's like, I gave you that for a reason.
Right.
Like, I have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on specialty tools to make this job specifically easier. Fucking use it, dickhead. It's not that hard. It's not a big fucking deal. But, oh no, I dribbled.
Dribbly.
Gotta have a beer so that lasts. Beer assistant. You need a bottle.
See what I can read.
Don't need doing them cans.
Yeah, the bottles taste better.
Yeah, we'll finish those off and then we'll drink the shit that tastes like a penny.
It all tastes like nothing.
That's fair.
Not true. I can taste the difference between the bottles and the cans. The bottles are better.
We need a trash assistant.
We need a trash.
Isn't that your job?
We need a trash assistant.
Well, I mean, it would have been, but it was late last time and we didn't want to wake anybody up.
I didn't even know you guys left last time.
That's because we were sneaky like ninjas.
But I was like, what'd they do? Crawl out the window?
I even think the dogs barked. I think they barked as we were closing the door.
They didn't go nuts like normal, though.
Wow.
Or start to like normal. I mean, I got up and go to the bathroom. Y'all were still in there, still in here, and the light was still on. All right, cool. So I went to the bathroom, went back to bed. Next time I had to go to the bathroom, I got out. The hallway was dark. It's like, damn it, something's wrong here. Oh, okay. Our recording light's not on.
They left.
And so I quietly opened the door just in case the bulb went out. Nope, y'all are gone. I was like, well, motherfucker. I didn't even know they left.
We ninja vanished.
Did, too.
Irish by the fuck out of you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dogs are getting used to y'all being here at that time.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're throwing a fit when we just laugh a little hard, or they're getting used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Mark was a character for sure.
Speaking of which,
Characters or Mark?
a recording light.
Oh, it's on.
Did it?
I turned it on. God, I remember one of the first times me and Mark rode together, like fucking side by side. And because Mark was that guy that he's going to brag about anything, even if he's bad at it.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
He is like, you don't think he's the best in the world at whatever the fuck he's talking about until you see him do it. And then you're like,
Yep.
really though?
It's like, come on, guy.
You know, and it's nothing. It's not taking anything away from Mark. Mark was a fucking great person, nicest dude in the fucking world. I mean, he was an Army Ranger for what, 8 years?
About that, yeah.
So, I mean, he's a hell of a background. I mean,
And well, he was an Army Ranger and 101st
yeah.
also.
Well, I don't know if he was 101st. I know he was airborne.
He was airborne. Okay.
I don't remember which regiment he was in and which battalion that he was, all the shit he was attached to, but
Me neither, but I know it's both.
I've got it somewhere. His mom and dad gave me something, a paper that had all his shit on it. I don't remember where it's at.
Yeah, I've got a copy of that in my files.
Yeah. But no, he would. He'd brag about fucking everything. And then you'd figure out that not necessarily full of shit, but he's not nearly as good as you said he was.
Yeah.
And riding a motorcycle was one of those things.
True.
No, he could ride. Don't get me wrong. He could ride. But the shit that he said he could do,
Not so much.
he attempted it. He started. But then you could tell he's like, I don't like that.
And he was on he was on a Fat Boy.
That Fat Boy.
He was on a Fat Boy, which is narrower
God, fuck that
than
thing.
the bikes that we were on.
Right.
Mind you. Okay, ours had saddlebags and were just wide bikes. And he was on that narrow Fat Boy, and we were putting our bikes in places. He felt like that if he stuck his legs out and could hit something, then it was too narrow.
Yeah, I tried to tell him 100 times.
The handlebars fit.
It's like, if the handles and the mirrors fit, the rest of the bike will too.
It will go.
Especially for that one. Like, I get it. There's some cruisers and stuff that the bags are a little wider.
Yeah.
That you may scrape a bag. But if the handlebars fit, you'll fit. As long as you're not wider than the fucking handlebars, you're golden. That's the only thing I like about Beachcomber bars is they're just wide, goofy fucking bars.
Yep.
They're wider than me, so I know if those fucking ugly pieces of shit will fit, me and the bike will fit. So it's fine.
Well, that and trying to get him to understand to do those kind of things at speed.
Yeah.
Don't slow down to do them. You speed up, or you do it at least at the speed, maintain the speed that you were doing.
Yeah.
Do it at speed.
When
Don't slow down.
when Hellboy went down that curve, I knew somebody was going down on that curve. Honestly, I thought it was going to be Mark. Like, me and Mark have ridden that curve a million fucking times, but I honestly thought it was going to be Mark that night for some reason. I don't know why. We were all having a good time. You know, we weren't fucking, we weren't drunk. We had a few beers, but, nothing to get even any of us anywhere close to it. I think I had more beers than anybody. I think I was only at like 5.
Yeah.
So we're coming back from Wichita Falls, and I make that turn, and I knew somebody was fucking going down. And then I look, and I see a bike fucking tumble, and I was like, I felt it in my gut. And I was like, God damn it, Mark. When we get over there, and fucking Hellboy. And I was like, fuck, okay, well, at least that part of my gut feeling was wrong, but I knew somebody was going to crash. But no, riding with Mark was the first probably 6 months. It always felt like a dick measuring contest because he would try so hard.
Yep.
And I would, just like I tell everybody else that rides with me, it's like, don't try to keep up with me. Like, I'm not, and for those out there, I'm not saying I'm the greatest fucking rider in the world, but I know how to ride 2 wheels like a motherfucker.
But you are a street Ross.
Yeah, well, But I told him, I was like, don't try to fucking keep up with me. Like, we're going to the same fucking place, brother. Like, you don't have to be right on my ass or right next to me. Like, if I want you there, I'll make sure you can be there.
Yeah, you ride, you're right.
Yeah. But every fucking time he would try, and then, like, there was some times that he'd keep pretty good, and then, that fat boy would just run out of ass. It's like, I got to 96. I was like, I know, that's all it'll do. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'll do a lot faster than that. But, like, going to and from the bar, like, if we'd leave work, and he'd fucking tear ass out of the shop, we're going to the same bar, and I was like, I'll fucking beat you there this time. I was like, well, hey, you're going the long way. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you're hauling ass the wrong fucking direction. Like, I can do the speed limit on these back roads, and I'm going to be there 3 minutes before you regardless, because I don't have to sit at a light, dipshit. Like,
Right.
I can roll up to a stop sign, and there's probably nobody coming. Just, I never have to touch my feet to the ground before I ever hit the bar. So, but, no, he was a goofy fuck.
He got to where, I got 2 things. One on that, he got to where he lived a half a block Well, block, about a
Yeah.
block up. Okay, they live about a block. And he'd call me and say, "Hey, I'm on my way to Roosters." What he had done is he had gone and left his place and gone over to the first turn and stopped and then got a hold of me because he felt like he always had to beat me to the bar. No, not so much. He would always take the wrong route.
Yeah.
He would get lost. He was horrible about getting lost.
God, when we went to get his fucking Ultra Classic, the one that's at my house now, I'm surprised we made it. Mark had never been to Anadarko. It's not that far.
No.
45 hour drive, maybe, depending on how you're riding. Yeah, no, I was surprised when we made it, no issues, but we got on the highway and it dawned on me because I had asked him beforehand. I was like, "You ever been to Anadarko?" He's like, "Nope, never once." Like, "You know where we're going?" He's like, "Kinda." Like, "All right, good enough. I don't fucking care." And we get there, it's like, "Oh, fuck." Like, it's really easy to get lost going to Anadarko. Like, you take one random ass turn
Yeah,
before you get into Anadarko, and then now you have found yourself on all kinds of fucking,
yeah.
backwoods,
Hills have
fucking, where did this mountain come from? Like, I can't see it from 6 miles away, but now that I'm right here, it's fucking there. Well, yeah, but we made it, which, again, I was super surprised about. But
We were going down Cash Road one time. Traffic was bugging the shit out of us, and it was me and Mark and Jeremy. And Mark had a tendency to want to be kind of like the tail gunner guy at that point. I think he felt more comfortable because he could see what was coming up and he could do what he could do and couldn't do. Well, we would split lanes going down Cash Road. Traffic was just horrible. People stopping and going and stopping and going and stopping and going. And Drax takes off. I lead out behind him, and our big wide ass bikes fit. And he went to take off. And when we looked in the mirror, he had ended up standing upright, literally on the driver's side of the car in the lane over, had to push off with his knee and then throttle out. He ended up on the car. Don't know how he did that. Don't know how he did it without going over. But they were going at the same speed, and he was on the side of that car, pushed off with his knee and whooped up the road. We got to our destination. He was like, "Man, I need to change my pants." Duh.
right. Yeah, you never got, did you ever get to meet Mark?
Nope.
Didn't think so.
When I first moved up here, I was doing the traveling and everything,
Yeah.
and everything went down with Mark either while I was on my last job,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
right around the time I got back.
Yeah, because it was right after Pope's funeral that it happened.
Yeah.
And I was using your helmet for Pope's funeral because you had just gone out of town, or you were in town, had just gotten back or some shit, and you couldn't go, or you were getting ready to leave or something like that. But yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it wasn't long after Pope's funeral that he was killed.
Yeah, and you weren't here for too long, moved here for too long. Even before that, only about a year.
Yeah, because you hadn't
Yeah,
been coming around much, because we didn't know you all that well.
Yeah.
Like, I'd met you and hung out with you a few times, but
You'd been over to the house. You helped me offload when I moved here,
yeah,
and
we'd have all gone to fucking prison if Mark would have been there to help move. That shit off. But he'd have made somebody so goddamn uncomfortable with that law tube. We'd all been in fucking prison. Every fucking one of us, for no reason, but he'd have figured out a way. He was like, "If I'm going, we're all going together, you sons of bitches." I'm like, "We're going to be cellmates." But yeah, I didn't think so. That was one of the things that I was telling Aces beforehand. Like, it's probably a good thing that you're here for this episode, and it's not just me and Aces, just because it's a good middle to have somebody that wasn't necessarily there, and it's easier for us to talk about with somebody that didn't experience all the shit that we did and hasn't heard all of the stories a million fucking times. I mean, I know you've heard some of them, more than once, and you'll hear them again tonight. So fuck you. But yeah, no, it makes it a lot easier to be able to actually talk about them whenever it's somebody that wasn't a part of everything. So
yeah, it's one of those, I was on the fence about coming over tonight, and I read through everything, and I saw that, all right, well, I'm definitely going to make it out there tonight.
Right. Well, we definitely appreciate it. I mean, granted, this is kind of our special ed baby that we're trying to do here. So, the more times we're all together, the better. But, oh, side note, I talked to Brandon today, and he definitely wants to be on. So we will have him as a guest, hopefully in the next week or so.
The bodybuilder?
The guy that owns the gym I go to, that me and him go to. I keep forgetting you pay a membership there now. I don't know if you've gone since that one day, but you're paying a membership, so you're a member. So, and it may be a dual guest episode. Him and Danny may come on at the same time. So, and I told, like, Brandon said he would be down to come here. So he may be on more than once. We may have him here. But I told him, I was like, I know you don't smoke. I mean, he drinks some, but I was like, I know you don't smoke cigarettes or anything like that, but we do smoke in there, but we keep the air moving and, try to make it not uncomfortable for anybody. And if we need to not smoke, we can. Like, that's not a big deal. If we want a fucking cigarette, we can step outside. Not a big deal. But so it'll be either him and Danny here or him here and then Danny here and then maybe an episode with both of them at the gym.
Do a remote.
Yeah. So that is definitely something that's in the works on that end.
Dude, we could do a remote at when they're doing like an in-house competition.
See, I think it'd have been cool to be able to do one at the bodybuilding deal. And actually, are you on call this weekend? Or are you off this weekend?
I'm not on call anymore.
Oh, you don't have to do that no more?
You don't on a call. They don't. Blah, blah, blah. Start that over.
No. So one of the apprentices absolutely hates his life and would rather work 7 days a week than be at home.
But I mean, hooray for you, right?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, dude, you want it, take it.
Fuck yeah. If we can figure it out between now and Saturday, the Native Nationals is on Saturday, the bodybuilding deal. I'll be able to do something like semi-remote there.
What time?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I just realized that it was this coming Saturday. So, yeah, I don't know. But it's an option.
Yeah.
Something to think about. If I can, the little spinny ashtray that we got down in the saloon?
Mm-hmm.
The one that you push on the top, the one that says sidebar on it? Yeah, Mark's the one that stole that. Mick knows about it. Like, I've told him since Mark passed, I told him. But it was one of the first times that we ever went to sidebar. And we were on the bikes. We both had our cuts on. And we're sitting in there. And like I said, this is our first time in there. We didn't know anybody. We didn't want to sit right at the bar. I think Emma was the bartender because she was there right about the time they opened. Like, that's when she had started there. And we're sitting in the middle booth. And neither one of us, like, we've both seen these ashtrays before, but just kind of like put up like little like decorations and shit. So we're sitting there smoking a cigarette. And we're just playing with it. You just push it and it spins around, fucking spreads the ashes out and goes in there. And I was like, I like this. And then I look up and I get Emma's attention because they hadn't been doing like, now they're the, we're cash only fucking pub style. You got to come to the bar to order and shit like that. They weren't doing that at the time. They were pub style, but they weren't telling anybody. They had just opened. So I was trying to get Emma's attention. She comes over there. I order us a couple of drinks. Mark's like, I gotta run out the bike for a second. I was like, all right, man. And a few minutes goes by because I just finished my cigarette. A few minutes goes by, got our beers. I just went and lit a cigarette and I looked down. Ashtray's gone. And Mark was already back. I just looked down, looked at Mark. I looked down at the table, I looked at Mark. I was like, saddlebag? He's like, yep. Yo. I was like, attaboy. Get it. Now it's out there on his memorial.
Yup.
So the one that is at Sidebar right now and that one are the only two still in existence.
Still in existence.
Yeah. The other ones are all fucking just, or at least they're the only two that anybody knows where they're at.
Oh, okay. We told him, what's his name, that he couldn't have the one that we've got back. He asked for it back one time.
Yeah,
we can't have it back.
I told Mick that we had it. What do you mean a link doesn't work? It works for everybody else. You fucking dipshit. I'll fix that later. Yeah, I told Mick one day, and he was like, "So I kind of want that back." I was like, "Nope." Because it was after Mark died that I told him. And he was like, "Come on, man, I'll pay you for it." I was like, "No." It's like, "You remember Mark, the guy that had come in here with me a few times, the guy that actually stole?" He's like, "Yeah," because he didn't know he was dead. You're like, "Well, he's not alive anymore, so I'm keeping that one." He's like, "Okay, I get it. It's fine." He's like, "I'd have just charged you guys $20 for it." He's like, "Yeah, but it's better this way, and it's a story."
Yep.
Yeah, he was about a goofy shit. The only reason I met him was because of fucking Hammer.
Yep, because a hammer.
Yep. You ever meet Hammer, the deaf guy? The reason I know sign language and he can stumble his way through some of it, and Hellboy kind of knows it, but it's backwards. Like he's sign language dyslexic. Like, I don't know how that works or if it's a thing, but
It's the easiest way.
yeah, it's the only way I can describe it. Yeah, that's the only reason. He's the only reason that Hammer's the only reason me and Mark ever met, and the only reason any of us ever met Mark was because of Hammer. So as irritating as he was there towards the end of us all hanging out and stuff, I can never thank him enough for that. Oh, luckily we don't have to worry about him hearing this.
Good point. I was going to say, he's not going to hear it anyway.
I mean, he might be able to read it, but
Subtitles.
yeah. God, that'd be fucked up. Could you imagine what this would sound like or just read like on some of the way, like the way some of the subtitles go? Because some of the subtitles don't get it right at all.
No.
Like, this could potentially be far better or far worse, depending on which fucking way those subtitles go. Now, I'm kind of curious to see. Like, I almost want to have Aces pull it up on YouTube and just turn the subtitles on and see what fucking happens, man.
Oh. I'm kind of curious to see now, too.
We'll save that for later.
We use the cheap program, puts that little guy in the corner that's doing the sign language.
God, that'd be funny as shit. Could you imagine? Fucking $1 million idea. You remember the little screen assistants?
Yeah.
That used to be there?
Yeah.
And you
From the paperclip.
yeah. But then the ones that, like, if you frequently visited porn sites, there was always a little cheerleader or something that would pop up and it's like, "Hey, we can do this." And it just essentially replaced your fucking,
Yeah.
your little paperclip guy.
Yeah.
Well, if you got a digital translator, there was just a topless chick doing fucking just sign language, and it was just always at the bottom of your computer.
That's just wrong.
That would be epic.
That would be fucking hilarious.
I mean, I'd be down.
Yeah.
Like, I would download it just because. Who doesn't just want a hot topless chick just doing sign language?
I might accidentally learn sign language.
I'm going to see if this bitch is actually telling me the truth. Like, is she saying what they're saying? Doesn't look like it, but I don't care. And then when there's just nothing, she just stands there and like just bounces around and jiggles. Like if she's not doing anything, she's like, beep, beep, beep.
Just that whole kind of
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. If only we knew an awesome computer programmer that could write us that program. That'd be amazing. Anybody out there? Come on now. Hit us up. We got this. Ugh. Apparently somebody's trying to listen to our podcast and the link doesn't work.
Well,
no.
take a minute and see what it does.
I know it works because I clicked on it earlier.
So it's user error on their part.
Probably.
Drax's part.
Well, not mine. I'm copying it straight from the website.
The one that he put up is how I listened to our last
I
episode.
was say because I think that's what he clicked. You've clicked it today, haven't you?
I have clicked it today.
So
And
we know it works.
it works. So
It's Tiffany's brother. I should be like, well, maybe you're a fucking idiot.
oh, it's Tiffany's brother. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
fucking idiot.
it's Chris. I love Chris to death. He's a
Great
fucking
guy.
goofball.
He is a great guy. From the time I got to spend around him.
He's trying to listen to it right now. So
Which one is he trying to listen to? The newest episode?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just listen to all of them and share them.
Yeah, send him a different link.
I copied it again straight from the website, and it's pulling up the little page screenshot.
Yeah.
So it should be there.
Hey, we need somebody to help us work on a logo.
No shit. I like the picture that we got.
Yeah,
If we
need
get somebody to like
logo.
draw something like along those lines,
We need something
like put all the bases on it.
we need something we can TM.
Need us a trademark, motherfucker.
And it's reproducible. I mean,
Yeah.
we need to be able to we want it on merch. We want it on signs, on tumblers, on. I want to put a neon in here with it. You know,
God, that'd be expensive.
Yeah.
Getting neon today is fucking pricey, which it would be awesome to have.
well, it's not going to be a neon; it'll be an LED.
Yeah,
Well, and also it'd probably be a while.
yeah,
Because that clock's not a neon; it's an LED.
yeah.
It's just the way
It
it's
just
set
looks
up.
like it.
It just looks like it's a neon. It's just the way it's set up.
Man, I wish my mom and dad's house would have burned down in fucking 2009. There's so many cool bar neons that I could have jacked for my dad's garage.
Oh, that would be awesome! Just like the whole studio with neon.
Like literally just like old fucking bar neons. Like there was some of them that when they burned down, they were worth thousands and thousands of dollars.
all except for the buzz. Neons have a
Yeah.
buzz to them.
Yeah, no, if you were sitting out in the garage,
Four neons together, and
Yeah.
you might as well be sitting in a hornet's nest.
if you were sitting out in the garage and you weren't talking about anything and there was no music going, it was almost uncomfortable if I can sit out there because of how many were out there. One of the coolest ones we had though, and I don't even drink Coors Light all that often, but we had one of the old the Coors Light clocks that had the train on it.
Oh yeah,
That was the full like
freaking
case, like it was a
like Rooster's test.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, this one was like it was a deep one, like it was like 2.5 foot deep, but every hour the train would go across.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was fucking cool as shit. Anyways, yeah, no. So it's like it was this clock is like it's every bit of 3.5 foot fucking long and probably 2 foot deep. And it had the like when the LED screens first started coming out, like you could program a message on it that would tell you fucking something on it.
Like the analog screen.
Yeah. And then every hour,
like a ticker tape.
yeah,
type
kind of.
screen. Yeah.
And then every hour, once it would kick that hour mark, the Coors Light bullet train, like you couldn't see it. It would come out of the mountains and then it just go back into the mountains.
Run front and go back in.
That's all it would do. It was cool as fuck.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was badass. Whenever Dad had it appraised, that fucking clock in the condition that it was in, because the lights that over time had just kind of gone out, because it stayed on all the time. Like it was on every day, every hour. It would do that. But it didn't make any noise, so it was fine.
I was getting ready to ask if it would or something.
It had the option to do that. We figured that out real early. Whenever
Did turn that off.
yeah, like the first time we actually plugged it in, and fucking an hour went by, and it scared the shit out of my dad.
Yeah.
So
It was loud.
yeah, it was loud.
To turn that off.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa," and he goes and he takes it off the fuck wall. He's like, "How the fuck do I turn this off?" And like, a little switch. And like, yeah, no, in the condition that it was in, that fucking clock alone was worth like $7,000. Yeah, and if it had been in like perfect condition where the fucking plexiglass and stuff hadn't been deteriorated over time and it's all foggy and shit.
That old stuff that would turn yellow and brown and get all cloudy.
And that was, Dad was a cigar smoker, but that's the only place that he would ever smoke cigars was in the little bar area, which didn't make sense to me because so the house that we grew up in there was a den and then there was the living room. We took the wall out between the den and the living room because the living room had the bar in it already when we moved into the house. And so he would only smoke. He'd only smoke. He would only smoke.
Where's the list? Well, needs to go smart.
Right.
Needs to go on the list.
He would only ever smoke at the bar, but you're still sitting right in between the living room and the den. Like,
Yeah.
I guess I kind of get it, but like for me, I only smoke in my bathroom when I'm taking a shit. Like that's the only place inside my house that I smoke anymore. So I mean, I kind of get it, but you can't beat your morning shit with a cigarette. Like, especially if you drink coffee, like coffee, shit, cigarette,
Right.
that's like the trifecta of waking up right there. It's like you're good.
That's the second best way to wake up.
Yeah. But no, if this clock would have been like completely original or even restored, it'd have been worth like $20,000 for a fucking clock.
Sounds epic.
I think the biggest part that I'm going, oh shit, is, because I've heard of like the old German cuckoo clocks going for insane amount.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest thing that's making me go, holy fuck, is that was not an ancient handmade.
No. That's rare though, because there wasn't a whole lot of them made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Granny, Dad got all kinds of shit like that. Like he'd go to raffles and stuff at like the country bar that Dale Monroe talked about. or that the one that I talked about in the last episode that fucked up and didn't get recorded, Mr. Magoo, he'd go, and Dale had all kinds of shit. Dale was old guy. He'd had fucking 1,000 different bars all over the place, and he kept everything. Like, he wasn't a hoarder, but he knew that something was fucking worth value. He's gonna keep it.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep it until he knows he's gonna get the most out of it.
Right.
Well, some of it, especially towards the end of his life, he's like, I'm gonna go, I'll just auction it all off. I need to have auctions at the bar and shit. People buy raffle tickets. And Dad ended up winning that shit all the time, because Dad'd be like, well, fuck, here's $300. Give me 300 of those tickets. You know you're going to win something.
Win something.
Yeah, unless you're me. Then you won't. Actually, I take that back. Casinos, I have shit luck. 243 fucking free spins. I win $38. But raffles, or like put my name in a box, I win almost every time. The one at the state fair, when the last time I went to the state fair, they had a Corvette, a Mustang, and a ZR1 Camaro. Put my name in all 3 boxes. I won all 3 of the first initial drawings for all 3 cars. I'm like,
What the fuck?
Like, how does this work? Like, I got no luck anywhere else, but I can put my name in a box. That's fine. So it's, if I put my name in a box, I got a good chance of winning. But then apparently, if I don't get to put my name in the next box, then my luck goes away, because it's then they have to take all the winners from all the different shows,
groups. Yeah.
and then they combine that, and then so they do like 3 drawings total. All of the initial shows, and then all of the winners. They pick like 25 or 30 out of that, and then the last one
But you don't get to have your hand on that next set.
No.
So it doesn't work that way.
Nope. That'd have been fucking badass, because it was the car or the cash value of the amount of the car. I'm like, well, fuck, that'd have been like, when they called me, I was fucking stoked, because I was still pretty young, didn't know how any of that shit worked. They called me, and all they say is, you won the drawing for this. And then the next day they call me like, hey, you won the drawing for this. Like, the next day after that, hey, you want the drawing for this? It's like, that's all fucking 3 of them. Fuck, It's like, and then you're looking at the price of a brand new fucking, Shelby Cobra Mustang and a Corvette and a ZR1 Camaro. It's like 260 grand if I just take the cash. It's like, fuck yeah. It's like, all right, cool. Fucking, where do I get it? They're like, no, see, this is the thing.
Yeah.
You won these drawings.
Right.
You didn't win the cars yet. You won the chance to get into another box where we're going to draw more drawings. You sons of bitches. Like, you should put that in the fucking fine print.
No, that should not be in the fine print. That should be in the large print.
That should be right up here. Like,
It's
aiming for a chance to win, your name in another drawing for this car.
it's like that when you get in the mail and it's got the car key and the little scratch off.
Yeah.
And you got to do the scratch off, and it's got to have a certain code.
Yeah. Fucking.
And you get the car key. Okay, then the code matches what's on the car key. All right, cool. You're supposed to go down to the dealership and claim your prize. No. We did this once because everything matched. All the codes matched. All the scratch offs matched. The car key.
Then you find out they all match.
Well, but then they told us, okay, now you have a chance to put this in the one car.
Okay, let's see if your key fits in that car.
The key fits and opens the door. Then it's your car. Wait. This is a national thing? Yes. There's no fucking way this one key is going to fit in that car. They sent out how many millions of these?
Yeah. What's what fucking, like, I think it's casinos specifically that my luck is terrible. Because even anything to do with a casino, like the last time I was in the city, when I went up to see Ashland, I get into my hotel room that I already paid for. I already checked in. I get in my car to drive around the building to go to my hotel room. As I'm parking the car, Riverwind calls me and goes, hey, you have 2 free nights. You want to book them? Like,
Hell.
Are you fucking serious? Like, yeah, they're good from anywhere from a week ago till next month. Like, well, they just spent a few $100s booking a hotel room for the next 2 nights. This would have been nice to know, because I had to save that money and just driven fucking 25 minutes to my destination, especially in a nice hotel.
Like, couldn't you have called me like 10 minutes ago?
Like, a week ago when you found out that I was eligible for it. Like, appreciate that, guys. Thanks a lot. On that note, we have shots.
Tinky tink.
Yay.
Woo.
That's going to be on a shirt. Tinky tink.
Probably already is, but we can make it our own.
There we go. That's some shit.
Oh, yep.
Righty.
God, I'm fucking. I
Okay.
was trying to remember the actual, like the details of the story of when me and Mark went to the titty bar.
Which time?
It was a shit. Oh, it's a shit show every time me and him went to the fucking titty bar. But
I don't know. I was just thinking about the time he was sitting in my backyard singing "Oh Canada" to What's This Nuts.
well, he was attempting to sing it.
Tempting.
Speaking with rhythm is more what Mark did.
And it wasn't even "Oh Canada." And he had changed the words. So it was what was that? American Beautiful.
Who the fuck was he singing it to? That's what I'm trying to remember.
That MP, the prospect guy.
Drew?
No, the other guy.
Keith?
Keith. Yeah, Keith, not Drew. From Canada. And
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Freaking Highspeed was sitting out back here in the chair, and I've got the video on my other phone.
It's the jump ship crew.
The jump ship crew. And I don't know, we'd been drinking yucca all day and had a barbecue and we're having a good time, and next thing you know is just Mark kicks back, "So Canada, how I hate thee," and just fucking, yeah, it was horrible. Funny as shit. Horrible.
Yeah, Mark couldn't sing.
Not a lick. Not a note. No.
Couldn't carry a tune in a bucket.
Fuck no. That bucket had no bottom.
Yeah, no, could not at all.
Yeah. Mark, to me, is when it came to singing, was apparently the equivalent to me as a child when my mom would sing. When I was little, apparently my mom would try to sing me bedtime stories, little lullabies and stuff. And when I got old enough to be able to understand, I don't like that. Apparently I would just put my finger on my mom's mouth, go, shh, no mama, no sing. Yeah. So apparently I've been a dick since I was a toddler, but whatever. But yeah, no, that was Mark tried to sing karaoke at the zoo one time, and I think that's why everybody left. Like, I think they went next door until they heard the song was over, because he started singing. Actually, he started singing "Friends in Low Places," and
God,
probably 60% of the bar left.
Oh my God.
Until some of us joined in.
And that says a lot.
Yeah.
Because I have heard that song, which is, hard to listen to.
that
Anyways,
depends on your perspective.
It's a fun drunk song. It really is a fun drunk song, especially when you're in a bar called the Oasis.
but
True.
Yeah.
True story.
I've heard that song absolutely butchered, and everyone's just,
Yeah. Yeah.
About the song and not about how it was sung.
Yeah. That was that definitely happened. That was funny. I laughed my fucking ass off though. Trying to remember who all was there. Were you there that night at the zoo?
Yeah, I was there that night.
Thought you were. Well, I think it may have just been me and you and Highspeed.
Yeah.
From the normal group of people that was there. I don't think Vash was there.
No, Vash wasn't there, and
Hellboy wasn't there. Hellboy wasn't quite around yet.
Mollywop was supposed to be there because they had just started at that point.
Yeah, they had just gotten back together.
But I don't remember if she actually ever.
I don't think she was, because I know there for a while.
I don't think
unless we were here, she didn't come because of Hunter. So
now there were times where we ran across her and some friends. She'd like get a babysitter, and then we'd be out.
Yeah,
and she'd be like, "No, I can't go with y'all tonight."
That was one of the titty bar times with me and Mark.
Like, okay, well, that's cool, y'all have a good night. And we'd take Mark and we'd go out, and then suddenly we'd fucking she'd say, "Well, I'd pull up and see y'all's bikes sitting there," and I'd be like, "Well, shit." And then her and her girlfriends are having a good time across on the other side of the bar, and we're having a good time where we're having, and it was just an odd dynamic. It was a very odd dynamic.
Well, it worked out good though, because me and Mark are both flirts. We'll fucking doesn't matter. We're having fun. It doesn't, it's not like it's gonna go anywhere. But like it worked out really good for Mark because Mark didn't care.
Nope.
Like she didn't give a fuck. They had that kind of relationship, so it worked out good for them. But it was funny because you could tell there was a lot of times that Mark wouldn't know she was there.
Yep. That happened too.
He just wouldn't notice. Like,
wouldn't know, man, nothing. She would come up to the bar and get something to drink, and he'd just be talking and blah, 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 blah. And she would get that little purse in her lips and her nose would wrinkle, and she just shrug his shoulders, get him drinks, and walk away.
For a dude that did everything that he did, his situational awareness was terrible.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I walked up right behind him, like fucking my nose could be touching the back of his head. Never know I was there.
He fell out of a bar stool one time. Drax turned around, saw me coming. I thought he had told Mark I was coming across the bar. I was meeting them at the zoo. And fucking I walk up, put my hand on his shoulder. What's going on, brother, man? It's just all shaking out and just hits the floor. Slid right out of the bar stool.
I've seen you do that too.
Well, that was inebriation. There's a difference.
Well, yeah, but still. Were you there that night when he fell out of the bar stool at Little Star in the corner? And he essentially just trapped himself in the corner at Little Star and fell backwards, and he was there, the swivel seats. He just, and it just like he started to go backwards, and then it just went hard right and just.
I got trapped. I got
So
I know John was there.
the only times that I remember being there when Aces was there, we were at the bar.
That's when we were at the bar.
Okay, more specifically, Aces was at the long section of the bar.
Okay.
Oh, not on the
Yeah.
corner.
No, he wasn't sitting where I normally sit.
Yeah.
Well, I was working that night.
Yeah,
Whenever he
you
did
were
that.
working that night.
That shit was funny as fuck.
Did the fucking deer trap me? I couldn't get up.
I was coming out of the fucking bathroom. Like, I was coming out of the bathroom, and John was there. I think, was Taco there?
Yeah, Taco was there that night.
Yeah, that's the night I did the push-ups with Taco.
Yeah.
So Taco was there. John was there. Fucking, he'd been there. He was the first one there.
Well, I mean,
And there was, I think Mikey and Kay were there too. So,
but that was early when we were starting to get to know Mikey.
yeah. But I remember he had been drinking before he got to the bar. And he had cut himself off. Like he knew that he was to the point where he's like, I don't need to do this. He was waiting on Eights to come get him. Like, all right, man, whatever. He's drinking his water and shit like that. And I hear him talking while I'm in the bathroom. Like, I mean, he's loud. Like, if you guys think he's loud in here, you should hear him in fucking person. Like, at least here I can turn him down.
We've got to mute it at least sometime.
Fuck off.
But so I hear him talking while I'm in the bathroom. And the bathroom in the Little Star for the bartender, there's a window. Like, you can see out.
You can see out, but you can't see.
So I'm just kind of watching, making sure everything's okay. And he's good. He's just sitting there, just talking with his hands like he always does. And I see him get up as I'm coming out of the bathroom. I see him get up. He tries to get up, tries to stand up out of his chair. And I don't know if he was trying to like push off the floor at the bar because it's, it was raised. That's got that little step down there. But then I just see it kind of go backwards. And then the chair takes a hard right, and he just spilled out. I just kind of stopped. I was just like, fucking really? You cut yourself off. Like, you should know, just don't stand up. It took him every bit of fucking 5 minutes to get out of there. And none of us were going to help him.
Nope.
Yeah.
And they didn't. It's like on my birthday when I fell over backwards. I was one seat over, fell over backwards in the chair and hit my head on the wall, and they moved the chair. They didn't help me up. They were like, no, you can stay there.
Chair's out of the way. That's fine.
You made it there. You can stay there as long as you don't have a concussion.
You got yourself into the hole. You can get yourself out.
These are my brothers. These are my brothers. These motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's good times though.
But that's when that's the night. That second night is when I did played pinball off of the hallway with H. She was trying to walk me out, and I went to fall over, and I hit one wall and then bounced off the other wall, and it was just a hallway. You know the hallway. I just bounced down, boink, 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 and then she grabbed me by the back of my cut. So I wouldn't fall as I went down the stairs because I hit the door, and it opened faster than I expected, and I started to fall, and she grabbed me by the back of my cut, by the armholes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, come back here. I'm popping. And held me upright, and she got me down the stairs and got me in the car, and I crawled when I got home. I crawled from the car across the yard and up the stairs and into the house. It was bad. It was bad.
I can say that I've never been that drunk.
I was pretty fucked up.
Not to say that I haven't consumed that much alcohol, but I've never been drunk enough that I had to crawl from the car into my house.
Well, she gave me the option of staying in the car.
I'd have just taken that option.
But for whatever reason, I don't remember the reason, but for whatever reason, I was adamant that I had to be in the house. And she let me in the living room. She went to bed, left me in the living room.
But I mean, I've gotten drunk enough that I made it to my room and I just fell down and I thought I was in my bed, and it was in fact on a pile of clean clothes that I hadn't folded yet. That was just kind of off to that I had pushed off on the floor the night before to go to sleep. I slept there. I slept real good.
Oh my God.
I was good with that.
So
But
there was one night, me and Drax and Hammer were in the saloon.
fucking Hammer.
We're hanging out, having some drinks. They've got stuff on the TV. And
I wish you'd come back and box me again.
I don't. You don't need to break the man. We broke him twice. I did once and he did once. So anyway, we're hanging out, we're drinking, we're having a good time. We finally coaxed Mark into coming over.
Even though it shouldn't have taken no cokes and he's a fucking prospect, motherfucker should have just been here.
Well, it was supposed to be their him and Molly Watt's date night, in quotes. So he shows up, he gets behind the bar, he's hitting his little pen and doing what he's doing and how he's doing. And about 45 minutes or so goes by, and I get a
Hey, your assistant.
phone call on this Molly Watt. It's like, what is he doing? Well, he's doing his thing. And she said,
Thanks.
it's supposed to be date night. I'm not quite off work yet, but I'm going to be probably here in the next 30 minutes. I said, okay, well, it's date night, so we'll do what we can to make sure he's travelable and be able to get with you. And she said, okay, well, this is the last time I'm on the call, so if he shows, great. If he don't show, he can fucking stay there. So I get off the phone, and I told Mark what she just said, and he went, fuck it, I'm staying here.
Yeah.
And he got so hammered, we had to help him up the steps into the living room and literally poured him onto the couch.
That's a pretty normal occasion, though.
Yeah, he stayed here. He stayed here quite frequently when he didn't have Hunter and didn't have to deal with Hunter or do duty.
Might as well just been your roommate at that fucking point.
He might as well have been.
It was at least 3 nights a week. He was
The poor guy, he couldn't handle the amounts that he would attempt to imbibe, whether it was THC or alcohol or beer or it's all the same.
But watching him get crossfaded is fucking hilarious, though. So he could look you dead in the eyes. He wore contacts. He wore glasses. Look you dead in the eyes. You could tell as soon as he hit that level.
Yep.
Motherfucker had a lazy eye. It was awesome. It was you could always tell, and it wasn't one of those ones that you knew which way it was going to go. Like, how some people have a lazy eye and it just kind of drifts off to the outside of their face. No, it doesn't. It was random. It just like what it wants to do, spins a wheel and it's gonna fucking pick a direction, and that's where it's gonna go.
It's like the slot machine of lazy eyes. I mean, sometimes be up, sometimes inside, sometimes it's outside, sometimes kind of roll. But so he's crashed on the couch. In the morning, Molly Watt shows up in her uniform, full uniform, in her little truck.
Yeah, she was an animal control
officer, and shows up here. And I met her at the door, so she didn't have to knock on the door. And she said, well, I know he's still here. I said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, his bike's here.
And she said, is he downstairs or is he on the couch? I said, yeah, he's on the couch. She said, okay. She steps halfway through the door. Dogs are going nuts. She steps halfway through the door, takes the cup of water she had in her hands, poured over his head, looked at me, smiled, and hauled ass back to her truck and took the fuck off. That was his wake up because he missed date night.
I mean,
regardless of what she said, he missed date night. That was his wake up.
Yeah. So that was a weird dynamic for, like, that whole thing was a weird dynamic for all of us. Just for a little bit. Like, it got to the point where it wasn't a big deal. So
I had to get used to her calling him bitch.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
That became a thing between her and I. I mean, serious. We
didn't meet Molly Wop for a while.
Yeah, it was quite a while.
Like, so we met her once because she wanted to know who her son was hanging around with.
Hunter, yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I wasn't there that night.
Nope.
So I met Molly Wop because Mark fucking set us up on dates. Because he was like,
Like double blind dates.
well, yeah, he was like, man, like, we didn't work out. She's a great chick. Love you, brother. If there was anybody that I would, want to date her and I know my son's going to be okay with, it's going to be you. That was how me and Molly Wop met, was him setting us up on a date. So me and her, we went on a couple of dates, and then, we had talked for a little bit and they had decided that they were going to, try to work all this shit out. I was like, I don't care, man. Fucking cool. Like, fucking get it. Whatever's best for you and the kids is fine. Like, it don't hurt my feelings. Like, it's not going to be awkward. So I don't give a fuck. But yeah, that was how I met Molly Wop, was Mark setting us up on a date.
Okay. So I'm going to try here to get, because I met her a while back,
Right.
and just try to get my timeline straight on where everything kind of falls into play.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Hunter at age-wise in relation to either one of the Gabriels?
You mean now?
Right now?
He's a year older.
He's a year older, yeah.
Then both Gabes?
Yes.
Because my Gabe is almost a year older than your Gabe.
No, then he'd be your Gabe's age.
Yeah, it'd be your Gabe's age.
A little older.
Correct.
Okay,
Couple months
so
Ask Snowy, she knows.
no, this is just, I'm not trying to get specific.
Yeah.
Just close proximity to the time.
I think he's a few months older than your Gabe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see. I met her. Gabe is 6. I met her somewhere in the ballpark of 10 years ago.
Yeah. Nice.
Because,
Yeah, long before we did.
yeah.
Well, a few years before we did, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because this will be.
Because we're looking at
Well-
7 years now, because Hunter was just barely born.
Was he?
Yep, he was just barely born. It's
That's-
been that long.
This will be 5 years, isn't it? This will be the 5-year anniversary
No.
of him getting killed. 4. No, this is 4. Yeah.
And we knew him for 2.5 to 3 years prior to that. So
Yeah, 'cause we were-
barely born. When,
Yeah, because we were there on his first and second birthday. Yeah.
yeah. I still got the candles out there in the lockers.
Yeah.
And that third birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, because was the third birthday was when we walked Hunter on his little Harley around.
Yep.
Yeah.
That little
Yeah, that's right.
4 wheels truck.
Yeah, that's right. Because I rode him around on Mark's bike after that.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
but
So yeah, it's been that long.
He's
7
is
years.
Hunter that old?
Yeah, Hunter is that old.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
why I was like, ask Snowy. She was at the birthday.
But yeah, still one of the wonderfully awkward things when, me and her realized we knew each other,
Right.
because we were having a pool party at the house and Vash and Snowy brought her over,
Mhm.
and I didn't know that I knew her.
Right.
It's like, okay, cool. And,
More people.
everybody's out there hanging out. I'm at work.
Yeah.
I get home from work and I see her, and I'm like,
Wait a minute. I know you.
no, there wasn't even, it was like, you look familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But that was where it stopped. I do plumbing.
Right. Yeah.
I meet hundreds of fucking people constantly. So
Yeah.
I never think anything about you look familiar.
I still don't know why you don't just start your own fucking plumbing company.
We'll get into that at a later date. I'm sure it'll come up. But anyways, later on, we're out there talking, and wait a minute, she starts connecting the dots, and me and her following each other, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, do know you.
Right.
Well, my ex's jealousy side kicked in, and it turned
No.
into a very awkward. After everyone left, it was insanely awkward for me.
Right.
Like, yeah,
Whoops. My bad. It happens. Yeah. No, that's goddamn. I can't believe it's been that long.
It's been that long, brother.
Fuck, 4 years.
Yep. This September
Yep, September.
will be 40 years
You know, that's
already.
I don't get it. I mean, nobody understands time. We get that we see it and it only goes forward. But it's weird how fast time works sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it still baffles me that we're halfway through 2023 right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how the fuck that happened. Like, I swear to God, I had just collected my money and we were like talking about this shit and I hadn't bought anything. And that was in January.
And I hadn't done any work in here yet either.
Yeah, it weirds me the fuck out that it's
I was still in Pensacola.
fuck it weirds me the fuck out that my Gabe's gonna be 5 in 6 days. I don't know what, like, I swear I just did his 4th birthday party like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I fucked up on his presents for his 5th birthday.
Let's check the little bottle, please.
Yeah, it's probably getting pretty close. I wish I had our copyright license so I could just play the fucking song while we did it, just kind of faintly in the background, but
I don't think it's there yet.
can't do that.
Let me see it.
Mm,
That's enough. I can see it on
it's
the
enough.
That's enough.
Yeah.
I hate it no matter what. So
Well, yeah, me too. Yeah, so I fucked up for Gabriel's presents on his 5th birthday. I didn't fuck up because it's not what he wants. So he's been looking, he saw this fucking YouTube video and it was like little RC tanks that shoot like water BBs, which not a big deal. That's cool. Found them, bought 2 of them so me and him could, like battle each other. Whether we were trying to shoot the tank or trying to shoot each other, didn't matter. Where I fucked up is when I bought the water BBs.
yeah.
I misread the label.
Okay.
Thought it said 1,000. It is in fact 10,000.
Okay.
So now I can't do we'll just play with these till they're gone, buddy. Like, because I'm going to have water BBs forever
Yeah.
and ever and ever. 10 fucking thousand. Should have made sense to me because I was like, damn, $10 for 1,000 of these seems expensive because I know I can buy like 20 gajillion Orbeez for like $7. Then the order confirmation that it shipped and the print was far bigger. I was like, oh, there's an extra 0 there that I did not fucking see. God damn my life. I'm just gonna have to I'm just gonna have to put plexiglass over all my electronics, like my TV. I'm just gonna put plexiglass over it and fucking 10,000 fucking water BBs.
You know where you really fucked up with this?
That's what they're listed as, is fucking water BBs. Hates.
Because you have massively messed up in one area. You told me about it.
Well, I mean, if you want to spend $10 and get them 10,000 more, that's fine.
Yep. Merry Christmas, Gabe.
Well, it'll be fine if they end up in your toilet. I don't know who did it. I was like, hey, we got to save these. This is going to be a prank that you want to pull on somebody.
Ole, 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 ole.
Yeah. See, the fun part is now Gabe has gotten to the point where he's like, I faked you or I pranked you, like whichever version he likes to say, but he doesn't understand what that quite means yet. So buy him another 10,000. He'll learn what a prank is. And then you'll have to put your plumbing skills to work. It says they're biodegradable, but I don't know how long it takes.
All that I'm going to say is, I tell a lot of people this all the time. When it comes to shit like that, there is nobody in this town that competes with me.
Right. I know. I still need you to come to my house and fucking get mine, because guess who still hasn't come to my place?
Are you serious?
Yep.
It's been like a month.
3.5 weeks, yeah. Things that make you go, ugh. Fucking Tennessee whiskey. Jack Daniels, fuck you for this invention. I hate you.
Here's Frankie's.
Frankie shot.
Frankie shot. We are joined by Frankie on Apple.
Every time, every day. Everybody give a shout out to our Ethiopian warlord skull. Because that's what Frankie is.
I'm gonna need a fucking chaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, better make sure we got beer.
If you don't need a chaser for this whiskey, there is something thoroughly wrong with you.
Seriously wrong
Well,
with you.
I mean, there's definitely something thoroughly wrong with us, but
Yeah, but this is a whole different level.
That's
is like a
yeah,
different
entirely
breed
different
of-
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, this
Well,
is.
ladies and gentlemen,
Yep. Here you go, Mark. You
it's for Mark.
nasty bastard. There's not many things that make me want to gag. I just throw up as soon as they hit my fucking tongue.
Good Lord.
That's one of them.
There,
God, I hate it.
that was the Mark of
Fuck.
horrible tasting booze.
All the sad part is we're gonna end up doing another one later.
Right? Wow.
Oh, that one may be off air though.
Here's the thing that really doesn't compute with me. So my
Basic math.
yeah, I mean that's like number 2, but I've never about anything said, "Oh, that's too fucking sweet." That
Yeah.
That is too sweet.
I mean, you're not fucking wrong though. Like, how does whiskey feel like it has more sugar in it than like cake?
You know,
sugar.
the bad thing is Mark abhorred mead. I brought some mead in.
Yeah,
Loved
he
mead.
hated it.
He brought some mead. Mark abhorred mead.
Yeah, he hated it.
Now, he loved yucca, but he hated mead.
Hey, send me the picture of him with a yucca bottle. Because I have it, but I have to find it. So just send it to the group, because that's gonna be the picture for this one.
Righto. Can do.
Oh man.
Not this one?
No, that'd be fucking funny. Oh, God damn it. God, I forgot about that. I forgot we had his mugshot.
No, I actually also have the one that we printed off. It's out in the
Oh, that's amazing.
memorial.
That is it. We need to frame it. It needs to go in here.
It goes in here.
It needs to go in
Put
here.
it over there.
Yeah, no, it needs to go in here.
Up there?
I'll hang my ticket next to it.
No,
Yeah, no, up there. That's
Yeah.
fine. But I'll hang my ticket next to it.
Yeah, that was after the wreck
Yeah.
when he totaled his parents'
God damn it. This motherfucker. I don't know if you heard this story or not. He went to fucking Tennessee. That's where he's from. He goes to Tennessee and he stayed in contact. And this was when I worked for Sears and I was in Kansas to do training and stuff because I was one of their mobile techs. My first day in Olathe, Kansas, I get a call. I'd been at training for like 2.5 hours. I get a call from a Gustafson number.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember if it was his mom's or his dad's phone, but the last name was Gustafson. I was like, well, that's Mark's last name. That's not good. So I was like, hey, I got to go take this.
This is to go well.
This is my, one of my brothers. I was like, all right, go ahead. We're doing computer training, so it's really not that big a deal. You kind of do it at your own pace. I call it, it's his mom. Like, hello? She's like, is this Drax? Yeah. Like, this is Mark's mom. It was just Mark wanted me to call you
At that point, we're
and
okay.
and let you know that he's in jail. Like, and I don't know this. I have never met his mom at this point. And like, the fuck? Like, yeah, he's in jail. He went out last night in my car and he got drunk and he flipped it. Like, okay. Is he okay? He's fine. He's fine. He got checked out. Everything's okay. But he's in jail. Okay. Like, he just wanted me to let you know. That way, if you guys couldn't get a hold of him, because I guess he had kind of told her that he was prospecting and shit like that. And he was like, just let them know. That way I don't get in trouble for, not getting a hold of him, blah, 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 blah.
Not getting in touch.
Yeah.
yeah,
So we ended up bailing him out of jail. Like, as a group, we put the money together. We sent it to him. Well, we covered 3/4 of it.
We covered 3/4 of it, yeah.
Which we didn't need to do.
Right.
Because I found that out later. Like, his mom and dad are well off. Like, it's not a big deal. But we covered most of it. About 3/4 of it.
His parents did some, and then Like a cousin.
His aunt.
His aunt.
Yeah, his
Okay.
aunt did some. I met her at the funeral. But yeah, so
I sent that to you.
yeah, I got it.
That's the picture he's talking about.
Yucca motherfucker.
Yucca, motherfucker.
But so we got it. You know, we posted the bail and all that shit, and he managed. He got back, and like he had got an attorney, so he didn't have to go back to Tennessee for the, you know, for the like the court date and shit like that. When he got back though, he was on punishment. You know,
Yeah.
fucked up, flipped your mom's car. You done cost us, you know, solid chunk of money. You know, you cost us as a group at least $1,000, and then whatever your mom and dad covered.
Yeah.
Because I think his bail is like $1,700,
Something like that.
and I think we covered $1,100 of it.
Well, because he was found to be under the influence of a controlled substance.
Yeah, because he was high.
He was
Well,
high.
because it was weed, but this was before weed was legal anywhere. This was like a year, maybe 2 years before this was legal, something like that.
At least in Oklahoma.
Yeah, like here.
Okay, because I was gonna say shit. That's been illegal in at least some part of the states for a long time now.
Yeah, but so we're doing. He gets back, and fucking. He's terrified that he's gonna get his shit pulled, fucking all this, and like, no, we're not gonna do that. Like, you don't got to pay the money back. Like, we'll get the money back so long as your bail and shit, fucking whatever. We'll get part of it back. All that finishes, goes through. You know, he paid for the attorney, and well, he was like, so what am I gonna have to do for punishment? I'm like, we don't know yet. We let this shit ride for
We did.
probably 3 months.
Yep.
Before we ever got punished for it. And then it got to the point where it was the middle of fucking summer. And like none of us wanted to mow. So his punishment ended up being,
That's one of the tasks. He had multiple tasks. But what we did,
which one is that?
that's watching the bikes in the driveway.
No, that's not even when he washed my bike. He had to do my bike with a toothbrush in my driveway. And he had to mow my yard front and back.
Well, and then he had to mow my yard.
Mm.
The object was, with the multiple tasks for each individual, was for him to understand how much he put our lives at risk. It wasn't just his life he put at risk, or his parents' car, or
Yeah.
their livelihood. It was, he also put us at risk. So it was an attempt at showing him, look, these are the responsibilities that we have to fulfill when we're at home, when you're not around. So now you get to take care of those responsibilities for the next month. So you learn to not put us at risk also.
We just did one before he sent this. Now we have to do another one.
Now we have to do another.
How dare you?
Well, okay, it's
I
Josh.
thought we were friends.
Brother, it's Josh.
Thought we were friends.
Okay. So Josh, you know,
I know.
the longer than anybody else.
Yeah, I know.
And he can't be here because of the boys.
Yeah, I know. God, I wish he could.
I wish he could.
I couldn't. I've heard some of the stories, especially whenever I was in Tennessee for the funeral. I heard some of the stories about Josh and Mark whenever they were kids. It'd be awesome to hear just Josh tell it. Like, I love Mark's parents to death. They're awesome. Like, we haven't stayed in great contact since the funeral, but they're wonderful fucking people. I don't know where Mark came from, but they're great fucking people. Like, his dad is probably one of the smartest people I've ever met in my entire life. The dude is super fucking intelligent. Mom's sweet as can be. But yeah, God, some of the stories from when we were in Tennessee for the funeral are good too.
I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Okay, we'll figure that out in a minute. Oh fuck, what were we talking about before?
Anyway, it was a matter of
Oh yeah, the punishment.
helping
That's right.
him to understand that it's not just his life he puts at risk when he drives inebriated or under the influence. You know, it wasn't just the car. It wasn't just his parents.
Yeah.
It was everyone in his life.
Yeah, his punishments were funny though. But then the day that he had to wash the bikes, I was here. I didn't ride the bike over because I had shit that I needed to bring over. So he was like, when am I gonna wash yours? I was like, we'll figure it out. I made sure I went and got that bitch extra dirty, fucking dusty roads, fucking whatever the case may be, as dirty as I could get it.
Have plenty of fun before.
Oh yeah. I called him. I was like, hey man, just come to the house. You can wash the bike in the driveway. You know, I got the shit set out there for you. He comes to the house and he's looking at it and he's like, he's pulling the little shit out of the deal. I don't have nothing for a full bike. I've got shit where you're going to wash a model thing. And that's what he did. My entire bike. And I will tell you, that's the best that bike has ever looked from the time that I started riding it to the time that it went away. That's the shiniest that bike ever looked. And it only made it about an hour. Because as soon as we got out, he was like, all right, man, all done. I was like, yeah, man, it looks fucking good. Like he got all the chrome polished on it. The pipes were nice and polished. Well, what was left of the pipes anyways. I was like, all right, well, we're going for a ride here in a little while. Like, you know, go get your shit settled. You know, go do whatever you got to do. We're going to do normal stuff. I was like, all right, cool.
All this was outside of his prospect duties.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, man, cool. I was like, meet me back here, you know, hour or so. We'll get ready to go. So we get ready to go. It had just rained a couple of days prior, and there's still little puddles of fucking water all over the place. Me and him are riding to go meet them. Every little puddle that I could find, I'd make sure I'd fucking get all the way in it as slow as I could. Whether there was mud, like if I get down into mud, just and just spit it all over because my bike was pearl white. So anything fucking shows up on it.
Everything showed up on that bike.
We got to the first fucking bar, and he knew what I was doing, but he didn't realize how bad it was. Stepped off, and Aces made a comment. He's like, "Thought you just washed that." I was like,
I did too.
He just washed that. I didn't.
He had put on the group that, okay, bike's nice and clean. Didn't say who washed it, so I went, my thought process. Because I'm not a wash a bike guy either. I mean,
Yeah,
if you look
I don't ever wash mine.
Yeah.
Mine gets washed unless it's a funeral run.
I just wash when it rains.
Yeah, mine doesn't get washed. I don't polish it. If something bad hits the pipes, it's going to stain the pipes. Yeah, I'll wash that and clean it off. But I don't wash my bike. I just don't. I mean, and it was actually Mark that taught me that concept is why spend all that time washing my motherfucking bike? The hours that it takes to polish.
Yeah, do a proper polish.
All that chrome and all that stuff and the pretty and the nickel on it.
It's very shiny.
Yeah.
Well, it would be.
All of that time spent could be spent writing. Screw it. So unless I'm putting it in a show or it's a funeral, I don't generally wash my bike.
Yeah.
And Mark was the one that it was actually Mark that taught me that.
Yeah, that first bar we got to, you know, when we pull up, hop off, my bike's white on the front. The rest of it is
Yep.
weird shades of gray. It was brown. It was up on the seat.
Because I don't know the bike. In my mind, I'm picturing like a bleach white or pearl white fat boy. And the first 8 inches of the tank are still white.
The V-Star.
Front.
It's a V-Star Cruiser.
Pretty close.
Okay.
1300 V-Star, yeah.
Still had the same, 3/4 fender.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm picturing like the little stripe. Whoop.
Yeah. Essentially, from my ass backwards was not white. You couldn't see white on it. You couldn't see anything shiny.
It was no bueno.
Even if there had been white like by my legs and stuff, like I didn't give a fuck if I got dirty.
Yeah.
Like this fucking bike was getting fucking dirty. Like,
And
that's how it was.
The tank goes, I kind of forget how fat your legs are.
Yeah. I got big tree trunks.
But yeah, he mowed lawns and weed eated everybody's lawns. Well, except Hammer's.
He didn't.
Hammer didn't have one.
He didn't weed eat my lawn. You know what he did with my lawn?
No, what? Scissors. Did he do scissors?
Scissors.
With your lawn?
Yeah. At least down the driveway. I made him do it with scissors.
Well,
I thought it was funny.
He did my driveway with a shovel, but like on the back fence and stuff, he used the weed.
Yeah.
But he mowed mine 3 times. Did my bike twice. He had extra duties. My wife had him clean the kitchen, which I told her was wrong, but he did it anyway.
Yeah, he didn't even clean it all that great either.
No, he really didn't do a good job, but he was not a cleaner.
The dishes weren't bad, but
Apparently they weren't good either.
But
the dishes were done clean. It was the rest of the kitchen that was like, it's like he didn't know how to wipe a counter down.
or the stove or anything like that. And we did those that had old ladies like Bash and Snowy. We didn't necessarily give them a say. but we included them because it wasn't also just our household. It's it's my living room, which includes my dogs. He had to take the dogs for walks. You know, it includes my wife, so she got to choose a chore that he would do.
Let's just say it was a good thing he wasn't working at the time.
Yeah,
he was busy.
He was a busy SOB
For about a week, for I say week, for about a month, really, because it kind of like the first week he was busy as fuck, and then it kind of slowed down, and we weren't making it like because we fucked with him real hard.
Oh yeah,
that first week
we did let it go a few months before we instituted everything.
Yeah, like I said, he didn't get any kind of punishment for 2-3 months, but then that first week we were like, you got at least a month, man. That first week was every fucking thing we could do. And we were always, you know, we always had made it sound like, well, not made it sound like, but we were, when it comes to prospects, you know, we were never going to make you do just dumb shit. Like, you're not going to have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning to take old lady Midol or something like that. His first week, oh, fuck yeah. It was essentially, bitch, you on call all goddamn day now. And figured the fuck out.
Part of the bad thing about the entire situation, you know, outside him being under the influence and outside of wrecking his parents' car, was we had already voted that when he got back, he was going to patch up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did that while he was gone.
Yeah, 90 more days, motherfucker.
And that's what he got. That's what he did. It was a fuck up. If he had to have actually totaled the car and done it stupidly, we probably have been a little more lenient on him.
Right.
But the concept of the levels that he did it at.
Yeah. That was a severe fuck up.
Because it really did. It put all of us in jeopardy.
Right. Anyways, now that fuck up's over, we can
look, we can take
have a shot. Roman's got to work tomorrow, so he's gonna cheers with beers.
Air tank.
Yeah.
Cheers, beers.
Cheers.
Got
so much better.
People tomorrow.
God, that's so much better than the fucking honey.
So much better than honey.
Oh man.
So I got something. So you remember when Suki was a pup?
Yeah.
Mark was around, and Suki Bear, you know, JP, that Suki is skittish.
Yeah.
She currently has PTSD. Deals with it frequently. And when she was a pup, she was skittish. Just came to us that way. She was literally a box bind.
Yeah, I mean, talking about how she was skittish, you know, within the first handful of times that I'd been over here, you know, 2 or 3, and you know how far spaced out those were.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough time for even you to get accustomed to me being here.
Right.
And
nobody gets accustomed to a mythical creature being in their fucking garage.
Fucking Suki just pops up in my lap, and I'm just chilling at the bar, and I don't remember if it was you or Ruth or Aces or fuck.
This is Aces. What the fuck? Are you sure you're not already drunk?
I might already be.
Really? You have dinner?
I think I did.
I could have made you an omelet.
I was gonna say I had a delicious omelet when I got to the studio.
We had omelets for dinner.
But anyways,
Brenner.
You know, I don't remember who it was. They were just like, and just started getting everyone's attention in the fucking saloon.
I do remember that. It was Ruth. It was doing that, getting everyone's attention. And I do remember when she got up in your lap. But when Mark first started coming around, she was even more skittish than she is now.
Yeah.
And like, he'd be sitting in the living room for pizza and movie night. It was before we actually even had a TV in the saloon. So we couldn't do movie nights out there. So he came up, they were sitting there, we're having pizza or something one night, I don't remember what. And we were all done eating, but the movie was still on, and he's sitting on the couch, and Suki gets up on the couch, crawls around behind him, and Mark had this thing about using product in his hair. It didn't matter what he was doing. He might not have even showered for 4 days. He's putting more product in his hair, so it always laid down.
It's gotta be fancy.
There was no like with Jeremy and I, we had the straight hairs that stick up. because he and I both wear the same hairstyle that Mark did as well. And but Mark, so Suki is sniffing at his hair, just really huffling at his hair real hard. And he's like, "Wait a minute, you won't let me pet you, but you're petting me with your nose? What?" So a couple of minutes goes by, and she gets down. She comes over to me and goes over to Ruth and just kind of wanders around and then stands in front of Mark and just looking at him. And Mark reaches his hand out like he's going to pet her, just kind of nonchalant. She backs up, gets away, and then huffs at him. Just Mark looks at her. And then he goes back to watching the movie. She gets a little closer. It's like sniffing his knee, and he starts to move his hand, and she backs away. Huffs at him again. Mark looks at Ruth, looks at the dog, looks at me across the room, looks at the dog, starts to reach out real slow. Suki comes up, smells his hand, and then backs up again. Mark said, "You know what? You and I are going to be friends. We are going to be friends. I don't care what it takes. We're going to be friends." And my thought process is, okay, cool. He's going to take the next few months, slowly try to integrate himself into her life and do that kind of thing. But no, 10 minutes later, he basically jumps on top of her without pissing her off and just pet rapes her with scritchings and rubbings and anything he could possibly think of to do in the middle of the floor without pissing her off, because it didn't actually upset her. She never once growled. She didn't bark. She didn't whine or do the whimper like I'm hurt. She didn't do any of that. And basically, we had a WWE, only it was Mark and Suki, our Doberman, in the middle of the floor.
If she had tried, she'd have taken him. She'd have tried, she'd have taken him all day.
Oh, yeah, she'd have taken him. But he basically pet raped her in that aspect. And they were, whenever he was here, they were inseparable. And to this day, she'll go down into the saloon. Suki Bear will go down into the saloon and will stop and sit down in front of the gate that's in front of the memorial and just look up at that memorial for a second or two. Sometimes it's a little longer. Sometimes it's right about that. But almost always she will stop and look up there.
Yeah.
And it almost always makes Ruth cry when she sees it happen. But there's times where Ruth thinks that when she goes down there by herself, the other dogs aren't with her, and she's down there looking for them. They became such good buddies at that point. And I think that the whole situation just with her is really part of the cause for PTSD. And her PTSD is 100% caused by the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing to me that, you know, people, a lot of people, I say people in a general, but there's a vast majority of people that associate like PTSD and stuff like that to just people.
To just people.
And I get it as a species, generally speaking, as a species, we're going to be to us more important than other species.
Right.
Now, for most of us in this room, not the case. Fuck people. I'm going to do more to help an animal than I am a person, generally speaking. If it's a child, no, I'll go out of my fucking way to help. That
Easily.
They're not people yet. They're innocent things.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all kids are. They're innocent fucking things.
Right.
A grown up that I have my moments where I'm like, man, I feel for the guy or whatever the fucking case may be, or I'll help somebody out. You know, there's a guy at Whataburger he was asking for money, and he was asking for money to get food. I was like, hey man, I don't have any cash,
I'll buy you,
but I can get you some food.
I'll buy you food.
And I've done it more than once where they're like, oh man, I just want the money. It's like, well, if you just want the money, but I'm offering you food, you just want the money. Don't tell me you want food. Tell me you just want money.
And then go away.
Yeah. But this dude was like, oh man, if you'll give me just like a burger or something, like that'd be awesome. You know, I'm a Whataburger, fucking drive through. I order my shit, and my meal's a big meal. I was just like, fuck it, just make it 2 of them. Like, who cares? And this was like one of the few times that, and it's shitty, and this is one of the reasons I don't like people all that much, is I've done this more than once, and I can count on one hand where they're actually grateful that you got them food and didn't just give them money. If I've got money to give somebody and I'm having one of those days where I'm cool with it and I don't care, fuck it, I'll give you $20. Whatever you do with that $20, that's on you, man. It's your money now. It's not mine.
Yeah, get out of my face.
But at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm leaving the bar and I want fucking Whataburger, and there's a dude standing out there and he's asking people, he's like, man, I just want to snag a burger or something. It's like, man, what if I just get you a burger because I don't have any cash to give you? And he's like, man, I'd appreciate it. That dude's legitimately struggling.
Right.
Not just fucking an addict or a shitbag.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, I feel for those kind of people. But people in general, I had a guy, I was in Chicago. I was fucking taking the train to go, pretty much all the way across town to get to the Greyhound station. And dude's asking us for, he's asked, well, I say ask, he did ask for the whole group of people I was with. He was like, hey man, can I get like $10 for some food? And not many of us had cash on us. We're like, we'll snag you some food, man. There's all kinds of shit around here. Just pick something. Like, everybody was like, man, well, I'll get you something to eat. Like, a lot of us didn't have cash. But the dude's like, man, I just need like $20. I had a 10. It's like, man, I got a 10. That's all I got. Handed the 10. And he just kind of looks at it and he's all disappointed and shit. He's like, man, you ain't got nothing more? I'm like, no, I just told you the 10 is the only cash I have on me. If you need food, keep the fucking 10. I'll get you some fucking food. Like, that's not a big goddamn deal. But then the turnaround, and whenever I don't have anything more than the cash that I had on me, and then you want to start running your fucking mouth like you want to fight, it's like I could beat your ass, take my $10 back, and then you probably have more cash on you than I do.
Yeah.
Like, there was that whole deal, it was like, 10 years ago, some shit like that, where the panhandlers were making like 6 figures a year, not doing shit, but standing out with a fucking sign. Like, it's shit like that where that's one of my main reasons why people just fucking piss me off.
PTSD.
But with the dogs and the animals and shit, like, they can't help it.
No,
like,
can't help it.
Like, there's people, like, the people that are like, well, just pit bulls are fucking, they're all mean. No, they're not. To me, any animal is, it's a nature versus nurture kind of thing.
Yes.
If the nature of your life has been you have to be aggressive to fucking survive, you're either never going to break that, or it's going to take somebody a lot of time to train you out of that, or to show you that you don't have to do this anymore. Like wild animals, it's like the people that fucking make friends with bears and shit. Like, I was watching a video, probably 2 weeks ago. This she lives out in the fucking woods. Like, her and her husband live out in the woods. And there's grizzly bears out there.
Hmm.
One of the most aggressive species of bears that are out there.
Oh, yeah.
And these bears have been, like, these people have been there so long that is literally just these people. They'll come up and just sit at her door. She doesn't ever, every now and again she'll kind of scratch him with her hand, but she's got like one of those little fucking like claw deals.
Yeah.
And she'll just scratch him on the chin and shit. She's like, all right, you guys want some scratches? And she'll just scratch him. And like this mama grizzly bear, which is one of the most fucking dangerous things on the fucking earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has led her cub to the door. And this cub's just sitting there getting scratches with this fucking back scratcher.
Yeah.
It was like, see, that's where you know that it's all about your surroundings. Like,
Yes.
that cements shit to me.
Yeah,
like, it's about your surroundings on how you grow up, especially when it comes to like animals and stuff. Like, everybody's like, well, whatever it is, aggressive to people. But it's the same thing. There was a comic and I looked into it. It was like lemon sharks. They'll make friends with divers.
Yeah.
And they will remember the divers. And then if the diver like is trying to interact with other sharks, the lemon sharks will run off the other shark, like they're a jealous girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it baffles me that people are like, that people don't understand that animals can have that same kind of trauma, and like they remember that, whether it's a sound or an action that a person does, maybe not you know, like us, the whole fucking memory of it.
Right.
But like certain fucking pieces will trigger that animal to do certain stuff.
Well, it's like there are things with animals that make no fucking sense at all to me. So I think I've told both of y'all about the pit bull that me and my ex had named Bridget.
Yes.
We got her when she was old enough to be taken away from her mom.
Right.
Yeah.
And it did not matter if she knew you or not. And I was even included in this. She had a problem with people wearing hats.
Right.
Yeah. Aurelia has the same problem. The ball caps has the same problem.
Yeah. And that all, like, Vash thought Aurelia was Bridget when they got her. But, anyways.
Anywho.
I have no idea where that hatred came from.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember, you know, we had a guy come out from AT&T or some internet company, and part of their deal, whenever they're at a customer's house, they wear a hard hat.
Yeah.
I met the guy outside. I'm like, dude, look, I understand it's part of your company SOP. I get that fully. My dog is as sweet as can be. But if you walk in that house with anything on your head, she's not going to attack you.
But fuck you.
But she is going to be loud.
She ain't going
She is going to be barking. She is going to go absolutely ballistic.
Yep.
Dude comes in, you know, he's like, all right, cool. He leaves his hard hat in the car. Comes in, does a little bit of his deal, kind of figuring out what's going on. And Bridget's just pleased as fucking can be. She's all sorts of, hey, pet me.
I want to be friends.
I want to be friends.
And then, you know, he's like, hey, I got to go get some stuff out of my truck. I'll be right back. He goes out there and habit kicks in.
Puts the hard hat on.
Yeah. He puts the hard hat on. He goes to come back in and she starts going crazy.
Yup.
You know, I didn't think at all she was going to attack him. She's just being loud and obnoxious.
Yeah.
He takes the hard hat off. She's happy.
Fucking moths.
And I mean, she did it with me.
Good protein if we're desperate.
You know, she knew me.
Yeah.
And I'd come walking in. I'd have my fucking patrol cap on. And she'd start going fucking crazy until I took it off.
Yeah.
Dropped one of my hair ties.
But also throwing in there, while she got pissed off at me wearing a baseball cap or a patrol cap, she did not have a problem with me wearing a beret.
Probably because of how close they fit to your head.
Probably.
Maybe.
You know, because there's like, I mean, everybody's like, oh, dogs see in black and white. Well, no, they don't. That's not true. It's been proven that that's not fucking true. They see all colors. They just don't see them as vividly as we do.
Now I will.
The same with shapes, though, too. They're the same way with shapes. They don't see shit the same way that we do. And probably with a beret, because of the way they fall, you know, she was probably like, damn, Dad got hit in the head. Now he looks fucked up. Yeah. But well, yeah, I can see that.
It's not even so much that one. My buddy Fox, when he would come over, typically it was after we were done doing shit at work.
Right.
You know, we'd get out of the car and fucking habit takes over. You hop out and
put your hat on.
Pop on my beret.
Yeah. Throw on your cover.
And she did not care about him wearing his beret.
See, my Gizmo, my Australian Shepherd, my last service dog that I had, he was similar, and it's shitty because it wasn't. He didn't like black people.
True story.
And I say this in the most
firsthand true story.
In the most like I apologize for this way, but he did not like black people at all. Like my buddy Frank. Oh, no, it wasn't Frank. Who the fuck was it? I think it was Skylar, actually. I don't know. It was one of my buddies. This has been a long time ago. Like, I had Gizmo for 13 years before I had to put him down. And it wasn't long after I got him, so it's been a minute. So I'm probably fucking misremembering who it was. But he had met this person multiple times. Lots of times. 100 fucking times. Every time. Barked at him. Didn't fucking like him. Didn't matter. Halloween one night at my house in Midwest City, he comes over in a fucking costume. Gizmo's his best fucking friend. Doesn't matter. He's up on his lap, fucking good to go. It's like, all right, man, fucking, maybe he's finally used to you. Takes his fucking mask off. Nope. He's like, no, fuck you, motherfucker. How I got you in my fucking face. What are we gonna do? And I was like, put it back on. I gotta get Gizmo the fuck out of here. So I got Gizmo out of the room, puts the mask back on. Gizmo comes back out, same fucking thing. Like, everything's good. Like, so I had to have my internet worked on one day. And this was in Midwest City, so it was Cox Communications, and I had to call him. I called him. I was like, hey, my router's fucked up, and the coax cable that comes into my house is broke. Like, it's like half disconnected. So every now and again, it gets a good connection. I was like, I just need somebody to come out and fix it. I was like, all right, cool. Do you have dogs or any of this? I was like, I do have dogs.
Here, wear that mask.
Well, no. So on the phone, and I'm sure there's a recording of it that gets played for like training purposes somewhere. But I was like,
It becomes
I was like, look, I'm like, this is gonna sound really shitty. He's like, what? I was like, my dog hates black people. And you could tell that probably the chick that was on the phone was black, and she was like, no, this racist motherfucker. I was like, no. Like, because you could just tell the tone change. I was like, I'm serious, and I know how fucked up it sounds. My dog hates black people. So, if you could, just send a white guy.
Or a Mexican.
And I felt so bad saying it, but they put it in the notes. I hear a little tick, 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 tick. Like, all right, cool.
You hear the angry typing on the other end.
Yeah, they're just like, don't send black out of this racist house, is what there is. Is just what I imagine she types.
Yeah.
Send the black guy.
Oh, wow.
I opened the door.
Yes,
and
where you thought they were putting don't send
Yeah.
that guy. It was
like, send the blackest fucking person that is in our employment.
we're gonna test his fucking
Yeah.
shit.
So I opened the door and was like, hey, man, what's up? Like, oh, I'm here to fix your internet. I was like, did you read the notes? He's like, yeah, I read them. That's good. I was like, so? So, this is what I told the people on the phone. My dog hates black people. And you can tell, like, he was he's a decent sized dude. And I was like, I'm serious, man. Like, I got no fucking issues.
Now,
I promise you, it's not how much it sounds.
Giz was not a small dog.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination either.
I was like, so I know how this sounds. And I was talking to this dude through the screen door. I was like, I understand how this sounds. I get it. I promise you, nobody here has an issue. Like, we're not that house. You're not walking into these fucking like racist Nazi house. I promise. Like, the dog's not gonna like you. And the dude was cool as fuck about it. He's like, I get along with all the dogs, man. It's like, all right, I'll let them out one at a time and we'll fucking test this.
We'll see how this goes.
So I let Heidi out, and she's a little Dotson. She loves everybody. She doesn't give a fuck. She does not care. And I let Fox out, which was, it was whatever the smallest breed of fucking Chihuahua you could have.
Oh, the teacups.
Yeah, there's one of those. Like, it's this fucking big. It's 3.5 inches tall. He's fucking good to go.
Thinking maybe that if these two are cool with it, Gizmo.
Like, all right, cool. So I had these two tiny ass little dogs, and then I have Gizmo,
Comes Gizmo.
and then I have Aries at the time too, my blue healer. So I bring Aries out, and Aries we found out was retarded. He was inbred enough that he was just fucking retarded.
Well, that's blue healers.
Aries is like, oh fuck yeah, I like this guy. So I was like, all right, well maybe if the big one's okay with him, it'll be okay. You know, if the bigger one's okay, and I let Gizmo out.
Retard likes him.
Yeah. So I tell the guys, like, all right, the last one is the biggest one. Like, I essentially let him out, like, bigger small dog, and then tiny small dog, and then small big dog, big dog. I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna let the last one out. This is one that may not like it. Gizmo just comes fucking trotting out. He's good. He doesn't, like, Gizmo doesn't charge nothing. He doesn't fucking run through the house. He's good. I open the fucking door. I give him his command to come. Fucking comes out and he's not paying much attention. And then he sits down next to me and he sees the dude standing at the door. And then he just. Gizmo was a tactically trained service dog. He can clear a house with a command. There was zero command that was going to shut him the fuck up. Like he never moved from a sit position. He was always sat at my right side in this incident. Never moved from that. But no,
wouldn't show.
no, you knew if I told him, it's like, okay, that motherfucker was going to die. It was going to be a brutal, violent, painful fucking death. Yeah. And the dude was like, can you put him away? I was like, yeah, give me a minute. I fucking take him back in there. And he was like, dude, that is the first time any dog has ever done that. I was like, man, I tried to tell him on the phone, and I'm pretty sure that the person that I talked to just thought I was some racist asshole. And he was like, you don't seem like it. That dog is. I was like, yeah, it kind of seems like it, doesn't it?
That dog is.
He's like, yeah. He's like, the dog's pretty, but fuck that dog. I was like, I get you, bro. This is fine. Just if you want to do your job, and I'll let you get on out of here.
I got this. Dog's going outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think that's, I mean, that kind of falls under that whole thing that we've been talking about, though. It's like animals have a lot of the same like trauma and predispositions that people have.
They do, yes.
Like, and so like Gizmo, I was third owner of Gizmo. So I got him from my buddy Alex, who we've talked about before. Alex got him from somebody else. And Alex told me whenever I got him that he was pretty sure the family that he got him from, they just abused the fuck out of him for the first like 8 months of his life. Sadly enough, it was a black family.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything about in general, but that's where he came from. And so he associates that, at least I think that's what he associated that with, was like that, happenstance of skin tone was they used to beat the fuck out of me and not feed me or whatever the fuck they did. She's like, I like these people. I ain't going back to those motherfuckers.
Right.
So, but it is what it is.
But yeah, there's still times to this day where Suki, I honestly truly believe that Suki misses Mark.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. We all do. So,
well, I spent most of my day trying not to think about it too much, and then I ended up sitting on the stair. And I'll be honest, what I put on the group chat, I was wandering around the house, wondering what I was going to do, and farting around and doing whatever, whatnot. And 20 or 30 minutes goes by, and I realized, motherfucker, I am sitting on the stair.
put this on the deal over there, trash cans full.
And I was just sitting there.
God damn it. White Frankie down.
And
White Frankie fell over.
White Frankie fell over.
Can't handle the liquor.
Damn it.
That's why you're the OG. Hell, nickel. That's gonna get us in trouble one of these days.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there, and that's when I put it on the group. I was like, I could have used a ride. I could have used, folks at that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just one of those things that, I mean, that's where I was at the end.
No.
And I think that my body just took me there today.
Today's one of those days that, because I've got Mark's bike sitting in the driveway.
Yep.
Especially because I didn't realize what the date was whenever I left my house today. I didn't realize until, like I said, I was at the gym.
Yeah.
But I realized what today was. Yeah, we'd all kind of talked and sent messages back and forth, and I got home and I sat in my car for probably 10 minutes just staring at the motorcycle. It's like, man, today's the day that of all of them, today and then the anniversary of him getting killed. Man, these are the 2 days that I wish I could just fucking hop on that bitch and go.
Well, then we need to, we as a group, I think, need to do something about that.
But it was, that what's shitty is I can jump it and it'll start and it'll run. It runs fine if I put oil in it. I mean, it's a 92 Harley, so it marks its territory every fucking place it goes. But it doesn't go anywhere because the brakes work too goddamn good, which means they don't not work. They work all the time, 100% of the time. Doesn't matter if you're touching it or not.
You don't get 100% or nothing. You only get 100%.
You only get, bitch, we at work. That's it. They died there. They died in the most at work position that they could. Like I'd have been far better off if they'd have just died with the rear brakes like not engaged.
Yeah.
I know how to ride enough to just ride with front brakes until I can get that fixed. Yeah, no, they just decided, like, I guarantee you they're just increasing pressure. They're probably they're holding hands now. The caliper's holding hands through the fucking, through the rotor.
It's already crushed every fucking thing.
Yeah. At this point,
Yeah.
not just holding hands, they're like spooning.
Yeah. No, they're at fucking docking complete at this fucking point. Like there's one dick inside of another dick, and then the other dick just clamped down, so they're not fucking leaving. Like that's what's going on right now with those fucking rear brakes.
But today was one of those days, and I think that I think we're all doing a little better.
Yeah, this episode is definitely not gone the way I thought it was going to. It's gone way better.
Agreed.
So, and I think the fact that it's gone so good and nobody's gotten mad.
Well, for us.
Nobody's gotten upset.
For us, it's gone good.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean for the group here. I think before it does take a really shitty downhill fucking slope, now's a good time to sign off for this one. Unless anybody else has something or a story they want to tell.
I think let's do one more tanky tank.
Yeah, we can do
Let's do a tanky tank.
While you're staging that up, I'm going to kind of throw something out there. And this, to me, is more how I've...
Are you doing one or no?
Yeah.
How
I've come in
shot glass?
with all of y'all and just the general, family that I have developed with y'all here. I had no idea what today was.
That's all right.
None whatsoever.
It's all right.
But
You weren't here for it.
I don't know. But it's one of those. I woke up this morning and something was wrong.
Shit, I did the same thing.
No, I can't. I could not tell you what was wrong. But I woke up this morning and I was like, man, something is not right today. And I had been in a funk all day. And then I started looking at our group chats later on throughout the day. When you chimed in, when you asked, hey, how's everybody doing?
Yeah, see, that was the same way whenever I woke up this morning. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like I woke up this morning, I was like, man, I didn't realize what the date was. It's like, man, today just feels fucking off. And I was watching something with Gabe. I was like, man, this is fucking deja vu. And then as soon as like you were saying, as soon as I saw that, like, how's the day treating you? I was like, man, he doesn't generally ask like how we're doing on a day unless there's like an importance of the day.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
And then
I
I'm like, oh, fuck.
didn't even think anything about the one that I saw for this group chat. I was like, man, I've been in a funk all day. I don't know what's up.
Right.
Or whatever I said.
Yeah, you were like, meh.
Because, it's like, yeah. But y'all know the stuff that I've been through within the past few days. So I thought, all right, stuff's just carrying over and I'm getting through that.
Right.
And then when I saw the other group chat where you had asked the exact same question, I was like,
Yeah, like there's a significance of today for other shit.
yeah, I was like, oh, fuck. And that's when everything started cluing me in. And I was like, I've had enough time and enough things in between my stuff and today to be past my stuff.
Right.
And I was like, shit, I'm feeding off of
Yeah.
the pain that they're going through.
You're cluing off of ours.
Yeah. But well, we're gonna end this one on a little shooty shot, the tinky tink. So
Do a tanky tank.
let's have us a shot and then we'll sign off before any of us get super upset about anything.
Yep.
All right.
Like,
Well-
share, subscribe.
Yep, all those fun things.
We're on multiple platforms.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon. It is all the Saloon Scuffle. It should be all you have to search. We love you if you listen. That's a lie. We don't know you, so we don't care. But we're glad you do. That part's
We
true.
love the fact that you listen.
Yeah, we do love the fact that you listen. So if you're enjoying it, keep on. If not, it's not hard to at least share it, and maybe your friends will like it.
Just because you have bad taste does not
Right.
mean your friends do.
Yeah, share it. Maybe your friends are better people than you. So we will see you guys on the flippity flop and the next time, and whatever other catchy catchphrases can be come up with.
Talk to you later.
Deuces. Goodbye.